Hello, welcome to Ancient Wisdom Healing. And our very own Janelle is going to give us an update on the energies of September 2024. So as a thank you for being part of our channel, we want to offer a 20% discount on all our services with the code that's going across the bottom of the screen. You can check out our website so you can choose from our family of practitioners to help you find answers for your issues. And the links are in the description box below. So let's invite the energy to invite in the energy to hear what Janelle is to bring to us today. So let's, take a deep breath and get ourselves centered. So let's breathe in through your nose and hold it for a moment. And then breathe out through your mouth. Okay, Janelle, thank you for being with us today. So what is the message for September?
Okay, I am Janelle, and I wanted to talk about an overview of September and to see what those energies look like for September. And if you go back to August, we talked about preparedness, and that was the key word is preparedness. And so in August, we were supposed to get everything together and get prepared for what was to come this fall through December, really. It's going to go further than that. But those are what we're mostly looking at this time. And so we talked about that. And then in September, August fades into September. And so September shifts a little bit. It's still some of the same thoughts, but it's more of I got a picture of Spirit gave me a picture of being on a cliff and not a negative thing. You're just standing there on the cliff and you're looking at it, the vastness, and you're looking down at the vastness of going down, and you're anticipating that fall off of that. But September is more about if you prepared and continue to prepare, you're just checking. So you're checking to see if your parachute is on. You're checking to see if I've got this, check. If I've got that, check. If I've got all the things I need. And so take a deep dive within yourself and see if there's any areas that you need before that dive off that cliff, which is going to be October, um, starting in October, that you may need to fill in or adjust in a different way or how you see that. That's not to say that we're still not supposed to be prepared, because I'm still doing that. And but what you should be doing right now, it switched from a physical busyness, like in August, just the doing, to now it's more of like breathe and look out at the expanse and just breathe in that positive energy that you've got this, that you are prepared for anything that happens. And we've heard this time and time again in the spiritual community that that we were born to be at this time, and that we are here, and it is a one in a millennia type event where humanity takes back their sovereignty. And that's what we're working over the next few years. And so some of the first strikes across the bow, so to speak, big strikes are going to start happening. We've already been doing this, but some really big things will kind of blow up or happen starting in October that will have us. But the thing I want everybody to to see is as you're standing there on this cliff and you're looking out, and it's an expectation. You are in expectation, but you're prepared. And you just need to make sure that you're still got everything, all your gear on and all that, but that you need to breathe in and capture that serenity, and calm your mind, because that's what a star athlete would do. If you were a skydiver, right before you would spend vast amounts of time getting prepared. And then you would decide, okay, I'm here. It's the last little check to do. I think I did everything right, but I'm going to check again. And then they take a deep breath and they go to this inner spot in their mind and in their body, and they slow everything down to pinpoint precision. And they become very serene in what their next step is. And so, we still need to be bringing in, doing our food, doing water. I do still feel like water is going to be an issue, but it does seem like it's intermittent or hit and miss. Like some people that maybe are on a well or spring or whatever, and maybe it's not widespread. Different areas may be having issues and other areas not, but just be prepared. Just do what you can do. And so that's something to keep in mind. Supplements and medicine. You probably heard all of these things, but that's part of packing that parachute, is packing away everything that you have, to be prepared for what's coming. And so don't look at everything as a negative. This is an opportunity for you to really shine, because you're supposed to be here. The spiritual tribes out there are supposed to be here. We were born to be here. And so what I mean by that is that in us being here and being an observer or a watcher, let yourself be a spectator in the crazy. And what I mean by that is allow all of the negativity to implode on itself, but you don't have to be involved in that. You can watch it, and but try not to be involved. And one of the main things that I thought was interesting, kind of look at it, is be an observer in what's going on. Don't be a Karen. So what does a Karen do? She gets involved where she doesn't belong. And she says things she shouldn't say. She gets on Facebook or social media and she's telling everybody off because she's just too involved. And as the spiritual tribe, we need to pull back and be more positive, to be that light. And I know it's hard because I do it all the time. I'll get mad and I'll put something on Facebook or whatever. But I got from Spirit really came in and said, don't be a Karen. Don't be in everybody's business. You can watch it from afar, but when it boils down to it, there's not a lot that you can do about what's going to happen. But there is a lot on how you can react, and keep your own sanity. Don't get too far gone and too far into the negative energy and frequency, and don't allow it to pull you in, because that's not what we're supposed to be. We signed up to be an observer and to hold positivity. And that's not to say that things won't happen. But if you're in a state of being where you are real focused and you're not involving people in other people's business or whatever, when you pull back, you're more in a space that you could handle any negativity that might be coming. And when I looked in and asked Spirit about, what to expect in September, and the overall energy is one of anticipation. And many of you may have felt this, where you're like getting up every day and you're like, what's going to happen? It's that anticipation that deep inside, you know that something's coming and it's big. And whether that be negative or positive, we're going to claim the positive. But that you are, just ready, you're anticipating, but you're not going to fall apart in that time. And so Spirit told me the middle of the month of September, we will really start seeing some things come up, and it'll be drip, drip, drip. And that may take the form of more problems in the Middle East. I picked up when I was automatic writing a few minutes ago, some more issues with the Middle East and Israel, and more attacks and that kind of thing. It still feels like that the big stuff may happen in October, but there's still going to be just that constant, okay, this is in the news today, that's in the news tomorrow. And it's really about mid-month is what they're telling me, not saying it couldn't happen tomorrow, but that things will kind of get ramped up somewhat. I really got as far as the Middle East. The frame of mind there is that there's such hatred for certain people groups that they would actually hurt their own people in order to get at the people they hate. So that's to say that if they need to blow up something, but it puts off a toxic gas that kills part of their country, that's okay because they won. And it's kind of like 2-year-olds playing. They just don't care about the consequences. So that was kind of the picture I got when I did kind of a automatic writing about, maybe what was coming up. But there again, there's not a lot that you and I can do about that. So if you pull back and you stay more calm and you keep your energy more positive, you're just going to be in a much better place. And another thing that I kind of was writing and I was looking on my notes, and this really came from the galactic. I have a blue star energy that I work with that happened to me years ago. But I work with this energy, and when I was writing, I saw a door and that had this just beautiful galactic electric blue around it. And I opened up the door, and it was the records. It was the beings that keep the records for the universe, which is different than the Earth records, because the beings that keep the galactic records keep perfect records that have been untainted, and they're the true records. They're very proud of that. That's the absolute truth, and they keep all of that in order. And they're very disappointed that what they told me is that truth is coming, and it's coming soon. And we will start seeing that in the middle of the month, where it will be little by little, little by little. And so they really have, they don't like that our truth or our historical records or what we've been told has been so misaligned or totally hidden from us. They kept using the word hidden. That they are coming in to make that adjustment and to make whatever covers or whatever blocks is going on. That, we've all heard the elite have blocked us from knowing what good health care is, or what medicines we should do, or what supplements, or keeping us sick, or keeping the food supply. They said that it's across the board, all of these untruths, and that they are working to get that with really some white hat type situations, but really they're working even on our soul level. So we're really, like, I could say, yes, they're giving the information to white hat type people, but now's the time for our own sovereignty. And so what they're saying is you can go within yourself and not rely on anyone else, whether that be religion or government or any other thing. And you will be shown the truth, because the frequency of truth is what they are telling me, that the frequency of truth is being opened up, and that the key word is our own sovereignty, and that we will have a knowing, an inner knowing of what truth is. And we will, if you will go inside and not be caught up in the caring business, if you will just go inside, you now more than ever will be able to discern that what real truth is. And so they're just really showing me over and over again that the screens are being taken off, just like in The Wizard of Oz. The curtain is being pulled back, and we're seeing who is really, working the world, working the buttons, the the global elite, or the WHO, or all of these people that have made so many trillions of dollars off of the commodity of each and every one of us, whether it be illness or sickness or food supply or whatever it is, that those curtains are going to start really coming off, and we will start to see different things come out about that. And so September is really, like I said, it's this standing there and knowing that something big is going to happen, and you're just pulling in all that good positive energy to get you just real poised for that, and that you're ready. And that's mainly just calming your mind. They keep telling me, calm your mind, be more serene, don't get caught up in anger and that kind of thing. And also, looking at my notes, and two, in a way, you're going to see where the powers that be that have controlled us in many different ways are going to do these last ditch efforts to really, pull back. Like they may try all different things to get the people toeing the line again, through fear. But if you are in your body and you trust yourself, then that's the absence of fear. And so we need to look at that and say, you're just not going to get involved in that. And then two, I think just, we've talked about the many timelines, and there's two main timelines. And there's a positive timeline where truth is there. We have this knowing. And then there's a negative, low vibration, low frequency timeline. And so we're there. And, that timeline, and you probably have already noticed this because I've noticed it, and people I talk to have noticed it, but Spirit's telling me that we will get to a point where people fall off in our lives, that because of the frequency and energy that we will hold, that the negative people, it could be in your own family, living in your own house, but definitely friends and people, and your community at large, that you no longer have those things in common because they're real wrapped up in fear-based situations, and you're not. So you're pulling in this direction and they're pulling in that direction, and they're falling off. And I've already had that, where I've had people from years ago that were literally I ate dinner with or did things with 3 or 4 times a week. But they, over the last few months, have kind of fell off because they're not in my frequency anymore. I still know they're there, but it's not where I'm in contact that much anymore. And that's what I mean by that. Allow yourself that. Don't get upset that that you're still not in the throes of everything. View yourself more in a sacred, sovereign space, and no longer accept untruth. Just tell yourself, I'm not going to accept that. And I think that if you will do that, September will ready you for what's coming in October, November, and December. Those are going to be very, very rocky. And a lot of stuff going on, I'm sure. But that if you look at things like anytime there is turbulent times, even through weather, I was shown through Spirit, through weather for September, that it's still going to be drought-like conditions some places. And that does still seem like it, just like in August, it seems like it's manufactured and man-made. That whereas like the area that I'm from, which is East Tennessee, we should be having rain, but we're not. We're everything's dying. All my flowers are dying. So this seems like it's more of a man-made type of thing. And then you'll have areas of the country where it will just flood and there'll be flooding. There again, it's different, unprecedented type things, because it's even Mother Earth is in anticipation of a change in frequency. And so you're going to see different, a lot of different unstable weather, which some of it will be natural and some of it will not be. I do see, like I said, the Middle East will continue to have big flares, big front page news, things going on. It feels like to me that October is something bigger happening. But so I was just checking in with different things. Oh, I remember now. Spirit said to limit or limit overseas travel. And that became real clear with Spirit when I was automatic writing. Limit overseas travel. Now, granted, there's some places that, are still fine and that kind of thing, but it does feel like that things are uncertain. And so just be careful with travel outside the US, that kind of thing. Things are volatile. So just be smart about that. Um, and then also, Spirit was showing me great positivity. So everything isn't all bad.
One thing that I was listening to you and you were talking about things happening, toward the middle of September. There's an eclipse. We're starting an eclipse season, and there's an eclipse on, I think it's the 17th. And when you were talking about things being hidden and all, I got the picture of, how when you get up in the middle of the night and it's dark in your bedroom, and then when you go to the bathroom, you flip the light on, it really opens your eye, or it makes you close your eyes a little bit to be able to adjust to it. It feels like that's the kind of energy that you were talking about, that when things start coming to light about things. So yeah, it's, your take on that is aligning with the astrology as well. And then in October, there's another eclipse that they said is going to have much harsher aspects to it, I believe. So,
Mm-hmm.
so that's always the possibility as far as things escalating. And of course, we're getting closer to
Yes.
elections too. And the thing to remember, in case you didn't know, I think there's like 52 countries having elections this year. So not just us that's changing, having a changing of the guard. And, people are doing, having their last gasp of mischief, we'll say, before, it finally, kind of peters out. And then, the real change that's happened. But also Pluto it has gone back into, or will go back into Capricorn for one last time until like mid-ish November, I believe. It's just going back into that first part of September. And Capricorn is the old guard. That's the old structures and stuff. So it's no wonder that things are having this last push for their own, survival. But it's only going to last those, 2 or 3 months there, 2.5 months, before it finally fully goes into Aquarius, which is the people. So power structures will not overnight, but hand it over to the people after that, because that's what Pluto represents as power. So a lot going on, Janelle, and I really
It is. It is.
really appreciate you bringing that forward and giving us a heads up, because that's important to, like you said last month, to prepare and connect with folks. And this month seems a bit of a continuation, but with the added anticipation part you were talking about. That's
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Anticipation is really the word. Where we know something, each of us feels a little anxiety. I think that's in the consciousness, is anxiety right now.
Yeah.
And because we are all spiritual beings.
Yeah.
And we sense it. We sense what's going on. We may not understand it, and we may not be open enough to see beyond the veil, so to speak, or trust what we're getting, but we know something's going on. And to trust that, trust your intuition. And and mainly just trust that that you are prepared, and if you're not, use this time to do that, just fill in. It's a fill in month. So you're just going to fill in where you need to and make sure that um, that you are fully ready. And for whatever reason, and I don't know if this will end up happening or not, but I get the sense that we won't, and I've gotten this for a few months, and it may come out that it's right, and it may, be different. The energy may shift, but that we won't be doing a lot in October.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's the like the war or a big war, that happens through things happening with Israel and the Middle East. That's what I think in my spidey sense says. But I just feel like that you will feel like that you need to pull back. Like
Mhm.
everybody's going to really pull back in October. And so, I myself have thought, you know, try not to, and I heard this too when I was doing my writing before I got on, um, and I wrote it down. Try not to do any unnecessary buying,
Mhm.
like, going and doing a big shopping spree or whatever if it's not needed, or just wait things out, um, and see what are going to happen. Are grocery prices going to even go higher? Are there going to be shortages, or are there? And don't get in that fear-based
Mhm.
mode, but just step back on all fronts. And but anyway, I think we're all going to pull through this. This is what we signed up to do. So we're here to be watchers or observers. Spirit told me an observer.
Yeah.
And if you're an observer, make you some nachos and watch. Don't get involved in this stuff. Don't, you know, allow, a political post to get you upset, because it's so much bigger than what is right
Yeah.
here in front of our face.
Yeah.
Look the long term.
Mhm.
And this transition is going to take a while. Um, it's going to be real rocky, real bumpy. And then we're going to kind of head out of some things in 25. And then I feel like some things might come back in a
Yeah.
year after that,
Yeah. Rearing its
but
ugly head for a bit.
yeah, because it's, humanity's fighting for its sovereignty. And
Mhm.
that's just not going to happen overnight. And some galactic force,
Mhm.
they sympathize with us, but we have to do the fighting, and we have to do the what it takes to claim back um, our sovereign rights and the truth. They're very concerned that we are not seeing and hearing and feeling and doing the truth. So they're going to have those curtains come off and be expecting that. But it seems like mid September, you're going to say, "Yep, saw that in the news today."
Yeah.
3 days later, saw that in the news.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. So, and if you can't handle that, then you just need to be on a news hiatus.
Yeah. Take a break.
Take a break.
Do some self-care there for yourself.
Yeah, self-care. Yeah. We need to call it self-care September.
Okay. All right. Well,
Okay.
we'll put that down there. But I appreciate you, Janelle. That's been a really informative update, and look kind of anticipating how September is going to play out, because it doesn't sound like that does sound like there's going to be, some things going on, but maybe we need to focus more on the internal for ourselves and just kind of, like you said,
That's what I kept getting.
get the nachos and watch the show
Yeah,
going on out there,
yeah,
but take care of the inner part of you. So you'll be, like that athlete ready to perform when October comes around.
yeah, yeah. That's what I got. Totally, just serene. They
Mm.
want us the word serene. They want us to try to achieve that
Okay.
and distance yourself
Yeah.
from it all.
All right.
Okay.
Well, be sure and book a session with one of us so we can help you and your personal type things that are going on with you. And there'll be a 20% discount on our services. Just, type in wisdomhealingtree.com and there we are on the internet along with everybody else. But we'll see you next month for the October update, and that should be exciting. So
Exactly.
thank you, Janelle. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye bye.